Hi guys, welcome to this session on Visio Online. Now when you first click into Visio, you are sent to this screen where you'll have some template options at the top and recently used files underneath, and then some more files further down if you've used any files. For this demonstration, I want to just select the blank option. When you click on that, it will open a blank template and present you with a set of stencils and some tools to create a diagram. So down the left hand side you have your stencils where all your shapes are. This one just says basic shapes. If I click on the next one down, it's got like arrows and stuff like that. And then another one that's telling me that I need to upgrade to get access to this, because this is the free version that you get with Office 365. If you want the full functioning version of Visio, you have to pay extra. The last icon at the bottom there is a plus, which will then expose lots of different stencils from other templates that you can add. So these are the two that we've got on this diagram. Further down, I could maybe add that one, and then that will become part of this diagram. You can see it popping up there. And then as you scroll down, you'll see that there are absolutely loads of different stencils that you can pick from. Each one has a different set of shapes. And as you get more familiar with Visio, you'll be familiar with which ones you like and you can utilize them. If you have the paid version and you download the desktop version, you have a lot more functionality than what you've got on here. So always bear in mind that this is a very, very basic Visio. It's a very good program, but a lot of the features that would be really ticking boxes for most users would be on the paid version. That's what Microsoft does. But you can still use this to get yourself going and learning about how it works. If you drag a shape that you want, if you click on it and just drag it on there, that's a rectangle shape. I'll just make it a bit bigger like so. Now you can adjust this and you can resize it to whatever shape you want. If I pull a square on, I can do the same sort of thing with this. If I get the corners, I can reshape it or resize it. If I get the side, I can resize it. But notice what's happening here. No matter what I do to that, it's always staying as a square. This one is staying as a rectangle, but I can make it look a bit like a square, but it is actually still the rectangle shape. It's easier to trick people into thinking that this is a square. Now, when you click onto a shape, you'll notice these arrows coming out of the side. And when you hover over one of these, it gives you a set of shapes, 4 shapes, that you can click on, and it will automatically connect that up with that shape. You can see there I clicked on a rectangle, and if I pull that down a little bit, you can see it's already connected up like so. And then very quickly, by using these little arrows, you can create yourself a little diagram. Just click on that top one like so, a little flow chart maybe. And as you move these things up and down, you can see the guidelines there, which is telling you if you're horizontal in this case, like so. Now you can also do connections yourself. You don't have to do it like that, but although that is a quick way of doing it. If you want to connect, say, these two together, you can basically use what's called the connector tool, this one. So if I click on that and sit over this shape, you see these little circles. If I go from one circle to this one, and then the circles become active on this one, and then you connect them like so. Now if I move this shape, notice if I move it around, it's always staying on that connecting point. Basically a point-to-point connection, it's called. Now there is another way of doing that. If I just knock that off and do another one, but this time I'll go for what's called a shape to shape. So I'll get the connector tool again. I'll sit in the middle this time, and I'll go to the middle of that one. It says glue to shape. So what should happen now is, if I move this around, it should just go from the shortest distance of that shape. You see it's flicking round wherever I go. So it's slightly different. So it's not a point to point, it's a shape to shape. You get that feature in the desktop version as well. I'll just get rid of that because I don't like the look of it. Right, so bring that one back up. Now with your shapes, you've got the option on the toolbar or the ribbon to colour them in. Lots of different colours. If you drop that down, you've got lots of different colours that you can select. You have the format painter as you would have in all the other Office applications, you can just click into a different shape and match the color if you want. I'll line those two up. You've got the ability to type. So if I just start typing, it will just type. The text goes in there. So each of these shape has a text box within it. So that's a text box. Now I have got alignment features here, so I can mess about with this. Go left. It was on left. Let's have a look at that. Go on that one. Left, and then maybe center, whatever. Wherever you want, you can basically put that into that area like so. There you go, top left. And then if I want to change the font color, you've got the same symbol there. If I change the font color to something slightly, let's go red. So the font's now red. And again, if I get back into there, I can start typing. The font is red on that shape. I'm not going to type any words. I'm just going to do it like that. Click off. So each of these boxes has its own text box attached to it. But you can see that there is also a text box here. So if I just move these out of the way, you can actually draw a text box yourself and just type in that, like so, and it just sits like that without any colours. However, I can, if I want, just do that to it, and then it looks exactly the same as these shapes that you've pulled off your stencil. So it's totally up to you how you do it. But what you don't want to do is put a text box on top of one of these shapes that's already got a text box on it, because then it becomes slightly counterproductive. Now I've got a rectangle shape here. Let me have a look at this one. If I draw a rectangle using that, so I've not pulled it from the stencil, when I'm typing there, this comes into the shape that I've just done, and the same principle will apply there. I can color it in. If I click on it, it needs to be active for you to color it in. I can color it in like that, so it's all the same. So there's lots of different ways of getting the shapes on the screen. Now I've got a lot of rubbish on the screen at the minute, so I'm just going to highlight all of those and delete them, get rid of these two as well. And what I want to do now is just basically bring two triangles on for a minute, line them up. Now on the top here on your toolbar, you've got the rotate, so you can flip these like that, so they're now side by side, and then you can group them. If you highlight it, you've got the option of grouping these shapes. So if I click on this little arrow, you'll see group as an option, and then that now becomes a set, a pair. You're moving them about, they are one thing, like so, moving them about. So you've got that option. You can create your own little shapes if you like, if you want to play around doing that. You've also got, if I go back onto that, let's drop this little arrow down next to the paint pot. You've got transparency settings and things like that for colors, if you want to put a color on there and then fade it out a little bit. So I'll do that and then go back into that and select, say, 20%. So it just fades it slightly, and you can have it transparent. So you might have something behind it and you want to make it a bit sort of translucent. Settings that you have in other Office 365 packages. So looking at the shapes, if you come down here, you've got quite a few different shapes, like so. This one is a cube. Bring that on. Now this one has got this little yellow point, and you can pick that up. If I can get out of it. See what it's doing there? I'm sort of messing the shape up. It's basically called a virtual point, and you can, well, I've totally messed it up now, but that's what you can do with the little yellow circle on these 3D shapes. You have to be a bit more careful than what I was there. So bringing shapes on from stencil is quite an easy process. Creating a nice looking diagram is totally up to you. If you are like me, you might spend a bit of time doing that. But if I just bring a shape on, just to show you, this is just a basic template, and I can very quickly using these little arrows that I showed you before, create a diagram. What can I go for there? I'll go for a circle. It's a bit big, and I'll just push that way a little bit, and then click on that, and then you can come out there and then just pick a different symbol, move it out a little bit, and very quickly you are creating a quite professional looking diagram without much effort on your part at all. Not that that's any relevance to anything, but there you go. You've got a little diagram there. Now to save this or name it, otherwise it's named drawing whatever number you're on, you just basically go up there and type what you want it to be. So I'll just call it Steve, and then like so, and then that's sorted out. Now the menus themselves, I'm not going to go through all the menus, but you've got insert. You want to insert different things, containers and things like that. Some of these features you have to pay for. Design, you've got little design features here that you can add if you want to your diagram, your drawing. These are just themes. That's the one you're on. These are all different themes. Like Microsoft overdoes the themes quite often, but I'm not going to put one on. You've got review. If other people are reviewing this, you can look at comments and things like that. And then view. Now you can put grid on. You see this little symbol? It means you have to pay for it, which is not great that you have to pay for something as simple as that. But there you go. And then you've got help, which you can utilize as any other help. So this is a very stripped down version of Visio, and there's a home tab there under file. Not the home tab, the backstage area. So it's very stripped down compared to the desktop version. So if you've got the choice, I'm not sure what the price is for subscription to the full package, but if you're going to be using this all the time, I would suggest that you have a look at the full package, even if it's just a trial. If I go File New, you can see some of the other template diagrams. So it depends what you want to do. There's quite a lot of preset templates, and you create quite cool looking drawings, to be honest. It's just a matter of picking the right one for whatever you try to do. So that's just a very quick overview of Visio Online. So hopefully this information I've given you was of use. Thank you for your time. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.